Hi everyone, my name's Steph. Today is a gentle beginner focused Pilates workout. I hope you enjoy. Let's start by lying on our back and we're just going to have our legs bent, feet resting on the floor. Start to slowly straighten one leg out, dragging your heel along the floor, and then switch to the other side. Let's make sure that our belly is drawn into our spine. We have that neutral arch under our lower back, so you should be able to fit a palm underneath your lower back. Take your time here. Every time one leg goes out straight, try pressing the other foot into the floor so that your hips don't rock from side to side. Relaxing your rib cage down towards the floor, activating through our deep abdominal muscles. We're into our last 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to be floating one of our legs up into tabletop. So very slowly, hover one leg up into a 90-degree angle above your hip, and then gently float that leg back down. Change over to the other side, single leg up into tabletop, and gently float back down again. Making sure when we're lifting the leg into tabletop, the opposite foot is pressing into the floor. Belly drawn into spine, same back position as earlier. Let's make sure we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We should be starting to feel our core muscles switching on now. Maybe your hip flexors are tightening a little as well. Let's lift that leg into tabletop, then straighten the leg up towards the sky, bend it back to tabletop and lower it down. Then repeat on the other side. Lift the leg to tabletop, straighten the leg up towards the sky, and then back to tabletop and lower the leg down. When you straighten your leg out, you don't have to reach it particularly low. Keeping that leg up higher to the sky does make it a little bit more gentle through the abdominals and through the back. Of course, if you feel like challenging yourself, you could straighten your leg and lower it lower to the floor. So for this next exercise, let's straighten our leg up to the sky and keep that leg straight, slowly lower it down to the floor, lift it back to the sky again, down to the floor, lift to the sky. We have a straight leg while we do this. If you need to bend your knee, it does make it a little bit easier. The lower you go, the harder it will be. We'll be switching in 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Straighten that leg up to the sky, lower it down to the floor, lift it back up again. Down to the floor, lift back up. Remember to keep our hips stable. Last 3, 2, and 1. For our next exercise, we're going to be coming into some abdominal prep. So we're just going to place our hands behind our head and start to crunch our chest and head up off the floor, and then lie back down again. Just imagine you're holding a water balloon between your chin and your chest, and we don't want to squash the water balloon. Sliding our rib cage towards our belly button every time we crunch up. And let's make sure we're breathing. So every time you crunch up, you breathe out. We're about to float our arms up to the sky in 3, 2, and 1. Head down, arms to the ceiling. And let's start to reach our arms behind us nice and slowly, and then bring them back over your shoulders again. When we do this movement, let's make sure our ribs are tucked down, softening them towards the floor. Belly still drawn into spine. So now let's float our right leg up into tabletop. As your arms reach back, your right leg will be straightening forward, and then bring your leg back to tabletop and your arms back over your chest. Let's repeat, staying on this right side. Last 3, 2, and 1. Switching to the other leg. The left leg comes to tabletop. As the left leg extends straight forward, the arms reach backwards, and then both come back to the center. As always, making sure we're maintaining that neutral spine and core is activated. Let's continue breathing. Last 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to be coming into some scissors. Let's hover one leg up into tabletop, and then you're going to lower that leg down as the other leg lifts up to tabletop. So we've got both legs moving at the same time now. You can have your hands on your stomach or by your sides, just switching through those legs, scissoring them down and up. Last 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing those feet down. Lift one leg slowly to tabletop, then the other leg to tabletop. Start to straighten your right leg forward, and then bend back to tabletop again. Repeat on the other side. If you feel like more of a challenge today, float those arms to the ceiling. As one leg goes forwards, the arms extend backwards, returning back to tabletop each time. Last 3, 2, and 1. Now let's bring our feet flat on the floor, left hand behind your head, and right hand reaching to your right ankle. You're crunching up, turning your left shoulder to your opposite hip, and then lie back down. Crunching up, left shoulder to opposite right hip. Your right hand is just hovering by the side of your body. And we're changing in 3, 2, and 1. Other side, right hand behind the head, left arm straight out near the ankles. Crunching up, right shoulder to opposite hip. Last 3, 2, and 1. Let's now plant our feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart, arms by your sides. Let's come into our bridges. Start to peel your tailbone, then your lower back up off the floor, and slowly peel back down, one bone at a time, back to the floor. Let's make sure we're squeezing our bottom at the top, starting to engage through our glutes. At the top of the movement, let's make sure our ribs are tucked down, so that we're not flaring out through the rib cage. It's okay if you're not lifting your hips very high. We'll be holding our hips up very shortly. Holding up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold those hips up. Now let's drop your right side of your hip over towards the floor, back up to the center. Then the left side of the hip over to the floor, back up to the center. It's almost like we're dancing through our hips. We're coming into hip pulses in 3, 2, and 1. Keep those hips nice and high and just dip the hips down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax there. Let's bring our arms out either side of our body into a cactus shape, feet together and rocking our knees gently from side to side. Start to loosen up through that lower back. Nice gentle spine twist. Only rock your knees over as far as they feel comfortable. Coming into our last 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to be rolling over onto our bellies, lying on your stomach. Make a diamond shape with your fingers. Your forehead will rest just in between those heads. Elbows wide. From here, start to lift your head and chest up off the floor, pressing through your forearms to help you lift that upper body slightly. We don't need to lift too high. Let's try and isolate that movement into your thoracic spine. Eyes are down, lengthening through the neck. Now let's rest our head down on the floor and we start to lift our left leg. Squeeze your bottom, lift your left leg up and lower down. And repeat. Squeeze your bottom, lift your left leg up and down. Let's keep our belly drawn into our spine. Hip bones should stay off the floor here. We'll be changing legs in 3, 2, and 1. Repeat on the other side. Right leg lift, squeeze your bottom. Little movements are okay. You may not be able to move your legs too far, and that's okay. We're going to be reaching our arms back by our sides in 3, 2, and 1. Arms back by your sides, palms facing upwards. Let's lift our arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then lower your arms back down, keeping your head on the floor. Lift, turn the palms inwards, squeeze the shoulder blades, and lower. Really thinking about those shoulder blades sliding towards each other as you lift your arms and roll your palms facing in towards your body. Reaching our fingertips towards our feet, relaxing through our neck. If you'd like to progress this movement, next time your arms lift up, you can also lift your chest up off the floor slightly. We should be feeling our back muscles working. Last 3, 2, and 1. You can sit back into your child's pose. Hips sit onto your feet, arms stretched forward, nice and long. And take some deep breaths here. We'll be coming into a 4-point kneel in 3, 2, and 1. Into your 4-point kneel, let's come into our cat-cow stretches. Rounding your spine to the ceiling like an angry cat, and then pressing your belly to the floor, looking upwards. Let's repeat those 2 positions. Rounding your back to the ceiling, angry cat, and then arching the other way, looking up, belly down. Moving only as far as you feel comfortable. This is nice to get some mobility through the spine. Last 3, 2, and 1. We're setting our knees under our hips and our hands slightly in front of our shoulders. Let's straighten our left leg backwards, sliding your toes along the floor, and then bring it back down next to the other knee. Repeat on the other side. Leg reaches backwards, and then bring it back next to the other knee. Your feet just stay nice and close to the floor to start off. And your hands are out in front of your shoulders just to offload through the neck and the wrists. We'll be doing the arms only next. In 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the legs still. One arm reaches forward and then back to the floor. Then the other arm and back to the floor. Now you don't need to lift your arm particularly high. You can just hover it an inch or so off the floor if that feels better. Let's still keep our neck relaxed, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to try and put the arms and legs together. In 3, 2, and 1. As one leg goes backwards, the opposite arm reaches forwards. Slowly bring them back in, and then repeat on the other side. You can keep your limbs closer to the floor to help with your balance. Try and keep your hips square to the floor the entire time, and belly drawn up into spine. We're aiming for length, not height. If you would like to progress, you can definitely try and lift your limbs higher. It does test your balance more. Eye gaze is always down, long neck. Last 3, 2, and 1. Let's come into a nice stretch here to finish off. So your right hand's going to reach underneath your body, rest your head to the floor. Slowly coming up, and other side, thread the needle, left hand under your body, head to the floor. Coming back up again. Your hand threads between your hand and your knees. And repeat on the other side. Last one. And you're all done. Thank you so much for joining in today. I hope you enjoyed that session. If you'd like to see more workouts from me, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye.